Welcome to Retire Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Phil Capriotti Sr. He is President and CEO of Empower Wealth and Tax, and today is a very special episode, folks at home. This is number 150. Wow, Phil, can you believe it?
No, I cannot.
Happy 150.
4 years ago when we started this show, I thought, people will be interested in it, but, maybe, I don't know, maybe if we last a year, great, wonderful, because we started this, a little prior pandemic. And we've gotten so much response from it.
Yes.
And we've had so much fun doing these shows. I just don't get tired of doing them.
Never.
And a lot of folks are calling. I'm here, folks. I've been watching you for 3.5 years. We finally decided to give you a call and come in, or I wasn't ready to talk with you then. And I think primarily folks want to make sure that, you're just not an infomercial. You're going to, you're here to help, and you're really, you say what you do and you do what you say.
Providing a service.
So 150 shows.
150. Oh my gosh, that's taking us way back in time. And obviously it's been such a pleasure to just watch the growth for your entire company, Phil, just the past few years that we've been doing these. I know I've run into people and they're like, oh my gosh, we love watching Phil. We record it every week if we can't be by the TV. So you have a lot of loyal viewers as well. The
funny thing is now I'm even training advisors from across the country. Now, I did that when I was younger, years and years ago. But that even brings another degree of fun into the equation. But it's been a pleasure working with you. And what can I say? Every single day we get an opportunity to do another show is just another masterpiece. I'm going to say it is what it is. It's a masterpiece. You never know what we're going to say.
Never.
We get started on a topic and it can go from one thing to another. So
it's true. It's true. And sometimes we sing. So we've had episodes where we've had songs just come into mind.
That's
so it's been fun. We just always have fun. Well, talking about fun, this is a fun topic today. A lot of people have questions about this. Phil, we're going to do a deep dive into Roth conversions, why people should be considering a Roth conversion, what that strategy looks like to have a Roth conversion. So let's talk about all things Roth.
It's funny. We never get tired. We never get tired of talking about Roth contributions and Roth conversions.
Yeah.
And I never get tired of answering questions from folks on why. Why should I do this? My other advisor said, absolutely do not do Roth conversions. With the earnings you're going to miss on the taxes that you pay on the Roth will more than exceed the expectation of the tax efficiency of the Roth. And I say, have you lost your mind? Well, I've actually had I actually had an advisor from Florida tell a client from Johnson City this, and I know they had a long relationship, but I'm thinking to myself, do they not understand the tax efficiency? Once you pay the taxes once, and that Roth continues to grow, and you never have to pay $1 in taxes for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, the kids, the spouse, you're not doing the math. So it made me realize just how uninformed and how tax illiterate this particular advisor was.
Wow.
Then come to find out, a lot of advisors say the same thing and do the same thing. So I guess they just shy away from taxes. And then many advisors also believe that taxes, I actually had one advisor say, in all probability, taxes will come down. We're not guaranteed that they'll go up.
Oh my gosh.
And Cynthia, I'm thinking, what planet are you living on?
Are you kidding?
What planet? We have a $35 trillion debt that we're paying $1.1 trillion in taxes on. Are you kidding?
Oh my gosh.
And it's spend.
Absolutely.
Our elected officials, many of them, they love spending our tax dollars.
Yeah.
They're very good at that. So I disagree with all of you advisors that espouse to that particular strategy because I really believe that you're doing a disservice to each and every one of your clients that you give that one-sided advice to. So let's go ahead and talk about all of the benefits and the disadvantages. So first of all, when you do a Roth contribution or a Roth conversion, yes, you have to pay the taxes. But finish that sentence. Yes, you must pay the taxes once.
Yes.
In your lifetime, once. So that's really, as far as I'm concerned, that's the bowl of chili right there. I'm paying taxes once.
One time.
Okay? Now, when you start, so with Roth contributions, many folks will say, but I don't want that big tax bill at the end of the year. And I'll tell them, look, you're still working, okay? You're going to work for another 5 years. Let's just take that example. Simply increase your withholding and do the Roth contribution. Let it grow tax-free until you retire and for decades to follow. Ask your employer to make your match tax-free. What's going to happen, folks, is not only will you thank me and our whole team after you reach a tax-free or tax-efficient retirement plan, but so will your children, okay? But because you'll teach them the strategy as well. So the key here is I do not want to have to take an RMD. So with a Roth, I don't have to take required minimum distributions.
Okay.
I pay the taxes once. Now I have triple compounding. I never pay taxes again. I get to take it out tax-free. It doesn't affect the taxation of my Social Security. It doesn't affect my IRMA Part B and Part D premiums from increasing.
Okay.
I can literally move money from my government taxable retirement account into my own personal tax-free retirement account, and I literally can live off of the earnings from that Roth, maybe with some dividends and interest mixed in, and Social Security, and totally structure a 0% tax bracket in retirement.
Wow.
I'm just going to say one thing just real quick. It doesn't really matter how much you make in the market. I mean, it matters, but you have to look at the other variables, because if you're not looking at, if I made 10% in the market, but I have to give 3% to the government, my net tax was 7. If I'm making 10% annually in the market and my net to the government is 0, I'm earning 10%.
Absolutely.
So we need to start to develop this mindset. And if you've been watching our program through the last 149 shows,
yes,
you'll know that, you know, I'm a very, very big fan, and it's just simple and it's really common sense. Let's pay the government once. I feel as though we've paid enough through the last 40, 50 years.
Sure.
We raise our children to be taxpayers, and everyone, we want to pay the fair share. But Uncle Sam has given us this window. Each and every one of them are using the Roth option. I'm sure of it. So why shouldn't we?
That's true. That's true. Well, Phil, this is the perfect time for us to take our first commercial break. Special message you have for our viewers at home. What would that be today?
That would be, give us a call, dial 888-818-6557. Please take advantage of one of our first 5 complimentary interviews. Number 1, let's talk about tax planning. Let's talk about the benefits of Roth conversions and Roth contributions. Most of all, let's get that portfolio review. We want to do a Morningstar report along with a portfolio observations and summary. Our Morningstar reports and analysis are done by certified financial planners and certified financial analysts. And let's talk taxes, and let's see what your appetite for increased taxes in the future is.
Phil, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call, 888-818-6557. Don't miss the opportunity to take advantage of one of these 5 spots that Phil has open this week for your very own complimentary interview. If you don't have a pen, that's okay. Just grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Empower Wealth and Taxes landing page. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on Retire Smart Austin. Don't go anywhere on this very special 150th episode. We're talking about all things Roth. Stay tuned.
My personal feeling is that no one who has worked in this country and paid taxes for 50 years or 55 years should ever have to pay taxes in retirement. If you put a plan together that is tax efficient so that when you retire, receiving money from Social Security should be tax-free. Receiving money from your pension should be tax-free. Receiving money from maybe life insurance policies are tax-free. If you put together the right combination, what you can find is you can structure a tax-free retirement plan for just about anyone to accomplish any retirement income goal. I now currently have clients that want $120,000 a year, $10,000 a month, and I have clients that we've worked with for the last 10 years that pay zero taxes on that income.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Phil Capriotti Sr. of Empower Wealth and Tax on this very special 150th episode. Phil, let's talk a little bit about some of the benefits of having a Roth, if you will. Number one, tax-free withdrawals. That sounds awesome. Let's talk about tax-free withdrawals.
Well, look, let's face it. In retirement, or really any time, but especially in retirement, I want to have an account that I can reach in and take a tax-free withdrawal. For instance, I want to buy a new car. I want to purchase anything. I want to make sure that I have all the accounts, all of the above. What we've done really simply amazing over the last 12, well, since we really started heavy on doing Roth conversions and Roth contributions, because there were income limits on it previously in 2010. So this is our 14th year running, preaching the benefits of tax-efficient, tax-free retirement income planning. The big excuse that I hear is I make too much money. I make too much money to do a Roth IRA. I make, $225,000, $300,000 a year. Wonderful. That's a good problem to have. But now what our lovely government has done, and I'm not being sarcastic, they've eliminated the income limits for Roth 401k contributions. I have, and really just about every single employer offers the Roth option. Unfortunately, they don't sell the Roth option.
Okay.
They don't really make the employees know. In fact, we're getting ready to start counseling businesses because they need to be counseling their employees about the 401k benefits and features and really how they should save. And very few employers are not doing that. So we're in the process of starting to offer that. But there are no income limits. So if you're making over $215,000, $220,000 married filing joint, you can't contribute to a Roth IRA because you've exceeded the limit. You can do a backdoor Roth, but I don't want to get into that topic today.
Okay.
But if you have a 401k, you can max that out. And this year, you can contribute over $34,500, including the catch-up, into a Roth 401k. The second thing, if you don't already have a Roth, is you start the 5-year time clock ticking.
Okay.
So many folks say, I don't want to do a Roth, Phil, because I have to wait 5 years to get my money. No, this is not the way it works. Okay, education. You simply cannot take the earnings out for 5 years. Yes, you have to be 59 and a half, but you must be 59 and a half to take a distribution from any qualified account. You can put money into a Roth. I actually have clients now, they're pulling $50,000, $55,000 in Social Security. They'll take maybe $10,000 or so from their IRA. They'll take $15,000, $20,000 from their Roth. None of their Social Security is taxed.
Wow.
None of it.
Wow.
And not only that, when we're finished, we're doing a Roth contribution or conversion for another 40, 50,000 in the lowest tax bracket, the 10 to 12% tax bracket.
Amazing.
So when you're in retirement and you're in a 0% tax bracket, we can take distributions from the Roth and then make contributions at either a 0 or an extremely tax efficient manner. And to miss this, if your advisors are not discussing this with you, either they do not have the knowledge or the competency, and if not, it's really time to, slip out the back, Jack.
Yep, make a new plan, Stan. Set yourself free.
Yeah, so it's extremely important. And then as you gain wisdom and get older, especially at the death of the first spouse, you do not have to worry about these pesky RMDs that cause your Part B premium to go up, your Part D premium to go up, and cause, in my opinion, excessive taxation on your Social Security benefits. You can take these things tax-free. So it's extremely important, if you're not contributing to a Roth 401k while you're still working, please give us a call, dial the 888-818 number. Let us explain to you all of the benefits and features and how important it is for you and your family to achieve tax efficiency in retirement. When you're in that retirement red zone, that last 5 years, where you're going to work 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years, and then you're going to be retiring, this is the best time to construct a plan if you haven't already done it. If you've been watching us for years, and we're apprehensive about calling, pick up the phone, give us a call, come on in, introduce yourself, let us help you. If you're new to the area, if you just moved here from outer space or out of town, please give us a call, come on in, and let's talk everything taxes and everything Roth.
Perfect. And what about no age limit, Phil? I know we're going to take a commercial break in about a minute, but no age limit. Wow, that's pretty cool, too.
Check this out. So I had a gentleman come in, and his mom's 88 years old, and his dad, her husband, passed away about 1.5 years ago. Great saver. He was an attorney. He was very, very brilliant. He actually even managed his own money. And he did a very fine job. He just didn't manage the taxes. So they had all of the money sitting in the IRA. Okay. Now, he had to take RMDs, but at the time, they were married, filing joint. It didn't affect their IRMA. So he passes away. His wife, okay, and this gentleman, Ed's mom, has to take the first RMD. Well, she has to take an $80,000 RMD because of her age and because of an account, 7-digit account. So that RMD made her IRMA, her Part B premium, jump up to over $600 a month from $160, $170 a month. So what we did with no age, I said, look, we have $3.2 million sitting in this trust, okay? The trust files an income tax. You're paying plenty of taxes. Why don't we do this? Are you using any of it in retirement? She said, no, we're just letting it accumulate. What do you want to do with it? I want to give it to my kids. I said, okay, why don't we do this? How about this? Do you want to eliminate RMDs? And she said, yes, I want to get rid of it. How do I do that? I said, you have to take the RMD this year. Let's convert the entire 1.1 million. We'll write the check for the government for 400,000. Okay, after 2 years, all of your money will now be in a Roth. We'll average that 7-8% a year on that 1.1. You'll never have to take an RMD. If you want to take extra money, take the earnings from the Roth, and now you can pass it to your children tax-free.
Wow.
So she said, let's do it. How do I do it? I didn't know I could do that. I thought I was too old.
That's fantastic.
No age requirement. You simply can't convert the RMD. You must take the RMD, pay taxes on it, but you can take an amount above the RMD regardless of your age. We did one a couple years ago on an individual 94 years old with, she had 4 daughters. And this is all part of tax planning. And again, don't worry about the $400,000 or the $40,000 you're paying to the IRS, because the fact of the matter is you'll never pay taxes again on that growth for years, decades to come.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, Phil, we're going to take our very second commercial break here in the show, but you have a very special message for those viewers at home.
Folks, call in for a portfolio review. What we're noticing is many of these advisors not only are executing Roth conversions or helping their clients reach tax efficiency in retirement, but their portfolios really haven't changed. They're not really exercising tactical management. Call us, come in. We'll do an initial consultation. Bring your portfolio in. I will structure a Morningstar report and portfolio observation and recommendation free of charge. They're done by certified financial planners in our home office and certified financial analysts. Understand, number one, not only how tax efficient your retirement plan is, but what type of return and what type of risk are you taking? Because that's another big no-no.
Of course.
Watching a market correction in retirement and seeing your portfolio lose 20, 25, 30%, and worse, not realizing you had that much risk in it.
Phil, thank you so very much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 888-818-6557, or if you don't have a pen, grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Empower Wealth and Tax landing page. As Phil mentioned, are you taking too much risk? And if so, wouldn't you want to know that today before it's too late? This is a complimentary portfolio analysis that Phil is offering to the first 5 callers today. Again, 888-818-6557. We're going to take a very short commercial break on this very special 150th episode of Retire Smart Austin, but we have so much more about the Roth when we return.
We know the market is going to get worse from here. This is the biggest monthly decline in 10 years. People's 401ks took a major hit.
Well, my investments are tanking. My retirement isn't going as planned. I can't believe I let my kid talk me into buying crypto. I mean, what is that anyway?
This was the 4th worst contraction in history.
So how are you two doing?
Your financial future doesn't have to be uncertain. I'm Philip Capriotti, CEO of Empower Wealth and Tax. If you amassed a nest egg, it's time for a financial advisor to help you reach your retirement goals. This is one of the greatest tax windows in history. Now is the time to take advantage of this tax discount while we can. We specialize in retirement income planning, tax mitigation, estate planning, and so much more. So plan your retirement right. Call now for your own complimentary portfolio review and tax analysis.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Phil Capriotti Sr., founder and president of Empower Wealth and Tax, and we're talking about all things Roth. Great question, Phil. I know a lot of people are wondering in the viewing audience, do I have to pay taxes when I do a Roth conversion? Should we talk about that? Do you have to?
Yes, and one of the other questions I get is, when do I have to pay the taxes? So yes, you have to pay the taxes. You're not going to get around the tax man. We have to work within the letter of the law. So yes, you have to pay taxes. Do you have to pay taxes out of the IRA? In other words, do they have to withhold 20%? No. If we have other income, we can use that. I've actually done Roth conversions where I've took some of the interest earned from the Roth to pay the taxes to convert more to Roth. So we're not using taxable money and raising the tax bracket even higher.
Wow.
Yes, you have to pay the taxes once, though. The key is only once, and then you never have to pay taxes again on any of the earnings. The other thing that I hear is, what if I do a Roth conversion and the market drops? I just got done paying the taxes. What happens if the market drops and I lose 20, 30%? Can I undo it if it's in the same tax year? Answer is no, you cannot. That was called a recharacterization. Back when the Secure Act 1.0 came out, they eliminated that. So this is why it's extremely important that when you do a Roth conversion, the portfolio is managed tactically. We want to make sure that we limit the amount of drawdown for the amount of return we're getting.
Okay.
I like to look at a 7-8% a year return with no more than 10% market volatility, or in that 8, 12 in that range. Okay. So the other question that we get is, Should I do a Roth conversion? And honestly, not everyone needs to do a Roth conversion.
Okay.
When I look at folks that have a very modest retirement income plan and they have a modest assets, okay, in many cases, they're already in the lowest tax bracket they're going to be in.
Okay.
I especially like it when I see folks that have worked until 68, 69, 70 and delayed Social Security. So they've maximized their Social Security, but they may only have a couple $100,000 in an IRA. And they're only going to maybe pull $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a year out as part of their distribution. Their IRA is already relatively tax efficient. But if you're looking at an IRA 401k of $500,000 or more, especially when we get into the 7 digits, you're doing yourself and your family, in my professional opinion, a disservice by not entertaining the Roth conversion option. Many times I also get a question, when's the best time to do a Roth conversion? I mean, we get a lot of really good questions
really
to come in. Okay, so I take a look. It all depends on your income plan. So this is where the questions come up. How much do you plan to take out of your IRA? How much income? Are you still working? What do you plan to earn? Oh, you retired. So many times when we have an idea of how much the client is pulling from their retirement income and what accounts they're coming from, we can do a mock tax return in the beginning of the year. And I can say, okay, we can do $60,000 now. And then let's wait to the end of the year. Make sure you didn't have to replace a roof or something unexpected came up, okay, where you had to pull additional funds. So normally I like to look at the Roth conversion in the beginning of the year and absolutely at the end of the year. We like to do it twice a year for our clients. I do not want to miss $1 of Roth opportunity at the lowest tax bracket.
Okay.
So that would come under partial Roth. Am I allowed to do 2 Roth conversions in a year? I understand there are rollover rules. No, folks, the rollover rule applies to when you're taking a distribution from an IRA or a distribution from a Roth. If it's not a custodial transfer, trustee to trustee transfer, if you're taking possession of your IRA or your Roth IRA, you only have 60 days to do the rollover. But when we're doing conversions from administrator to administrator, we can do as many as we want.
I love that. Well, Phil, I can't believe we're to the end of another amazing episode this week. Thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 888-818-6557. As Phil mentioned, he is offering you the complimentary portfolio analysis. Find out today if you're taking too much risk. This is available to the first 5 callers only. If you have your smartphone handy, go ahead, grab it, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back next week for episode 151 of Retire Smart Austin. Take care.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Phil.